Welcome to another episode of Roll Up a Power Up. So get your blunts rolled and your drink poured. Alright? Now look, check this out. This one, this gonna be about longevity, prospering, endurance, living. You know what I'm saying? Overcoming different obstacles in life that you wouldn't have thought you would have made out of. You know what I'm saying? What you mean by that, Mr. Roll Up? All right, well, I didn't told y'all I'm from the hood. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Detroit. I'm from the west side. It's 7 Mile. You know what I'm saying? 7 Mile Evergreen to be exact. You know? So for anybody that know anything about that area, y'all know what it is. One of the most violent hoods in Detroit. Now the funny thing is, back in the 90s, when I first moved over there, that's when I was a little bitty ass boy. I told y'all before, my parents originally came from West Warren, Livernois area. That's like the whole Number Street, West Warren, Joy Road, Dexter Linwood, all of that is like around the same area type shit. You know what I'm saying? And that was labeled like the Wild Wild West of Detroit. You know, well, like I told y'all before, when I came along, my parents, well, my mama got tired of that, and she didn't want me growing up in that. So she thought moving over there to 7 Mile was a better move because it was brick houses, it was clean and nice. But little did she know that my generation was gonna turn that whole neighborhood out, and that's exactly what happened. You know what I'm saying? Nah, with all that being said, right? This is during our time of tearing up that neighborhood. This was during our time of growing up in that neighborhood. We moved over there on 7 Mile, 94, 1994. It was still a lot of white people over there and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like it was real clean. You would have thought it was the suburbs, but it was still the city. You know what I'm saying? So basically, when I came up, you know what I'm saying? Me and all my homies, we all clicked up. We all doing our thing. All the guys that grew up in our neighborhood too, they was on the same shit. Nah, if it was a whole bunch of white people living over there at the time, where the fuck did all you niggas come from? Well, crazy thing is, my mama wasn't the only one that felt that way. That felt like she needed to get from that ghetto ass environment. You know what I'm saying? That was really wicked. She wasn't the only one. Apparently, everybody else from around that way was feeling that same way too. So the same time that we moved over there, a lot of people from around the area where we was living at, they moved over there too, because they wanted a better living. So when more black people started moving into that neighborhood, the white people started moving out. That's how niggas took over the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? The cost of living was real cheap over there at that time. So that's how a lot of people was able to obtain them houses and stuff like that over there. And the more and more niggas that came into the neighborhood, the more and more the white people moved out of the neighborhood. And that's how we took over the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So now that y'all got that, right? Okay, let's fast forward the tape. So like I said, everybody in my hood, we all growing up together at the same time. We all the same age. Our parents pretty much know each other. This is where I was getting at when I was saying that we all the same motherfuckers. We pretty much came from the same area. You know what I'm saying? Our people know each other. All of that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why when I was saying guys picked their sides. You got guys that was rolling with the five, which was the Bloods and the Vice Lords. Then you had guys rolling with the six. which was the Crips and the GDs. You know what I'm saying? When that happened, when everybody got the peaking sides, that's when the hood went downhill. That's when everything started going left. When everybody got the peaking sides, peaking crews, clicking up with this clique, clicking up with that gang, click, 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 right? When that started happening, that's when the neighborhood started getting demolished. Nothing but crime, fighting, arguments, etc., etc., right? That was the downfall of 7 Mile, where I grew, where I came from. You know what I'm saying? Well, in the mix of this, now we teenagers. You know what I'm saying? So now the hood is ours at this point. This how we feeling. We run this shit. We do whatever the fuck we want. You know what I'm saying? Well, it's a gas station on the corner from where I live at. So on my block, literally, if my house is right here, right, and just say I walk down the street all the way to 7 Mile. Just say this 7 Mile here. My house is here. 7 Mile is here. I can walk from my house all the way to 7 Mile. It's a gas station right there on that corner on 7 Mile. Right? My house is literally 2 blocks down the street from 7 Mile. You know what I'm saying? Well, at that gas station, it's a BP. You know what I'm saying? Well, it might be a Valero now. You know, I think it is Valero. But anyway, BP, Valero, same shit. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, it's that gas station, right? We've been going to that gas station since we was kids. All of us from the hood. That's our hood gas station. You know what I'm saying? Well, the owner that owned that gas station, his name Mike. That's my man's. 100. You know what I'm saying? Real motherfucker. But basically, he been knowing all of us since we basically moved over there. You know what I'm saying? So he been knowing us since we was kids. Let me throw this in there, right? One time, I was about like 8, 9 years old, right? I went in there and I stole a bag of chips, right? See, I thought he wasn't gonna peep what I was doing. Mind you, back then, you know, cameras and shit wasn't like what it is now. Like they used to use mirrors back in the day. You know, like in the store where you got the aisles and shit. And you know, in some stores they still got that big ass like mirror that sit in the corner and shit like that. That's how he was operating back then. He didn't even have cameras in there. He was operating off the mirrors. You know what I'm saying? Well, I came in the gas station. There was a whole lot of people in line. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna slide up in here, steal this bag of chips, and dip up out of here. I ain't had no money and I was hungry. I wanted some chips. You know what I'm saying? So I went in there, I grabbed the bag of chips, threw it under my shirt, right? Tried to walk out that bitch. While I'm trying to walk out, mind you, he's chefing up all these people in line, right? I'm trying to walk out that bitch on some smooth shit. He like, hey, stop. I turn around, look, I'm like, what's up? He like, put it back. I'm like, I don't got nothing. I'm still itching towards the door. You know what I'm saying? He like, put it back. I'm like, I don't got nothing. He like, look, man. He'll like, go ahead, take it. Just don't come back. Don't ever come back. He said that it was like, you know, at the party when the DJ scratched the music, that you know what I'm saying? You slow that shit up. Hold up, hold up. It was one of them. When Mike said that, I said, nah. I took the bag from under my shirt. I went back, I put it on the rack. I walked back to the front counter. I like, hey man, I don't want no problems. We good, man. It was like, all right, don't do that again. It was like, come back with some money. I'm like, all right, cool. I left out of there. I can't. Next time I came back, which was probably like a day or two later, I probably came with like $2. You know what I'm saying? Bought that same bag of chips, a little quarter juice. You know, they had little quarter juices back then. I bought that. I was like, look, man, you know, I just ain't had nothing, man. I wasn't trying to be on none of that. You know, he like, it's all right, man. He like, I've been knowing you forever, you know, since you moved over here. It was like your daddy, that's my guy. You know, it was like we good. It was like I just had to let you know that I'm serious about my business. You know, we talked about, we hashed all that out, everything. We was great. Ever since, ever since, I never tried to steal nothing out of there. You know what I'm saying? No matter what it was, I never tried it because I had that respect for him. You know what I'm saying? So now we teenagers. Back to what I was saying, we teenagers. I just had to make sure I threw all that in there so y'all get a feel of this gas station. Like this is more than a gas station to us. This is like second home for us, for real. You know. So we teenagers. Of course, we still in and out the gas station. It's our hood gas station. So we know all the guys that work in the gas station, everything, right? All of them Arab dudes. You know what I'm saying? But they was cool though. But it was this one Arab dude. He was on the night shift. His name was Z. Coolest motherfucker in the world. He fucked with us tough. You know what I'm saying? And this was back in the day before they had all of that no smoking in buildings type shit. Like back in the day, you could smoke in a building. You know what I'm saying? Like you could smoke in different places back then. It ain't like how it is now. Now you can't smoke nowhere. Back then you could smoke like 90% of those places. Like real talk. Only places you couldn't really smoke was like, you know, professional buildings, you know, shit like that or whatever. Look at this deer. Ain't that crazy? See, you struck a pose for you. That's crazy. But anyway, so Z, you know what I'm saying? Cool as fuck. You would have thought he was a street nigga. And like I said, you know, you could smoke in a lot of buildings and shit back then. Back then, you in the gas station, you could smoke a cigarette in there, but not smoke a blunt. You know what I'm saying? Man, Z didn't give a fuck. He was letting us smoke blunts in that bitch. We in there gang banging, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Bitches coming in there, we hollering at them and shit. We be at the gas station all night with Z. Real talk. His shift started at 10 o'clock and it ended at like 6 in the morning, some shit like that. Man, we be in the gas station with Z all night. Swear to God. You know what I'm saying? He'll let us know, like, hey man, the police coming, woo woo. We'll all leave the gas station, jump in our cars, go back to the block. He'll hit us up like, hey, the police gone. Y'all can pull back up. We pull back up, be in that bitch with him all night. Swear to God on my kids. Like, that's just how we was coming. You know what I'm saying? He fucked with us. We never intimidated him, tried to squeeze him, extort him, nothing. It was just genuine love. You know what I'm saying? So I told you I had a crew of youngins up under me. You know what I'm saying? They was the Crip homies. You know, they was cripping this shit. You know, well, them niggas, they would literally hang out there at the gas station with Z until he got off work, which would be 6 a.m. And then when he get off, everybody would come to the block from like 6 a.m. to about 8 a.m. It'd be the youngins and Z on the block. By that time, about 7:30, 8 o'clock, I'm waking up and I'm coming outside. So by the time I'm waking up coming outside, Z and the youngins, they leaving the block. The youngins going in, Z about to go to the crib. You know what I'm saying? Like we worked the block in shifts. It was crazy, you know. But this how cool we was with Z. And Z wasn't from the hood or nothing. But Z used to be on the block with us. Like real shit. You know what I'm saying? So he fucked with us that tough. Man, it was to the point where me and my generation, we'd be on the block about like 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. We on the block, right? Next thing you know, we see Z car coming up the street. We like, oh, we thinking it's Z. When the car pull up, this is one of the youngest on the block. This is just how locked in we was with him. them niggas could go up there to the gas station and get his car. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. Like we was locked in. You feel me? Like real shit. So now y'all know about Z. You know what I'm saying? All right. Now let's fast forward to today, right? So this was recently, a few months ago, right? I was at this restaurant in a little city called Roy Oak. You know what I'm saying? Roy Oak might be like 20 minutes away from Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Tucked in the burbs type shit. Everybody be hanging out there. They got a bunch of restaurants and little clubs, bars, all type of shit. It's bunch of shit going on out there. You know what I'm saying? So I was out there one day. Guess who I ran into? Z. I ain't seen Z since back in them days. You know what I'm saying? Because back in them days, that's when I ended up going to jail. You know what I'm saying? I did my time. By the time I got out, like I said, everything was over with. So I ain't seen Z since back in them days. And I ran into him out there in Royal Oak type shit. You know what I'm saying? So we got to talking, catching up, all that, right? Next thing you know, he like, bro, he like, guess who stay across the street from me? I'm like, who? He like D Money. D Money is my man I told y'all about that was party promoting back in the day. D Money and Smooth was party promoting. I got pictures with him. He light skinned nigga with the braids. You know what I'm saying? But D, he had got his life together early, way before we had matured and started getting our lives together. He already was on his shit. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, with that being said, D is up there. He doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? He like, man, guess who stayed across the street from me? I'm like, who? He said D. I'm like, straight up. He like, man, he stayed directly across the street from me. Now, mind you, like I said back in the day, we be in the gas station with Z and all of that. So the guy D that I'm talking about, he one of the guys. He was on the block with us, all of that. So it's just crazy going from we was kids on the block, you know what I'm saying, acting a fool at the gas station, all that shit, to now we grown and they living across the street from each other, you know, type shit. Like, what was the chances of that? You know what I'm saying? And they stay in the city called West Bloomfield. You know what I'm saying? West Bloomfield is one of the richest cities in Michigan. You know what I'm saying? For real. For sure, Oakland County, but probably Michigan for real. Like all the rich motherfuckers live out there. You know what I'm saying? Man, crazy. D just so happened to buy a house out there, and the house that he bought out there was directly across the street from Z. So D and Z stay across the street from each other. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, they be in their backyards, feet kicked up, drinking beers and all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Little insight on me. I live out here in West Bloomfield. You know what I'm saying? So all three of us, we all live out here amongst each other. And we all started on the block together at the gas station. You know, the block, the gas station, the same shit. You know what I'm saying? We all started on the block together. And now we in one of the most prominent cities of the county. And if y'all do y'all research on Oakland County, Michigan's Oakland County, we one of the richest counties in the world. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a big accomplishment, you know, being able to live like they coming from where we came from. You know what I'm saying? Like we straight came from the trenches, like real shit. Like it got real ugly, especially around that time. So me and Z was catching up about all that hood shit. Like he was there, he know. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yeah, we out here now. You know, this is the type of time we on. And did none of us plan this. We didn't talk about this, none of that. We all just so happened to move around each other in one of the richest cities of the county. Crazy work, man. But That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's been another episode of Roll Up a Power Up. So get your blunt rolled and your drink for it.